I don't tell anyone not to talk about it. Okay. But my argument is how we talk about it. Okay. What perspective do we have when we talk about it? Okay. Like we just talk about now. We never say, see, everything I've heard Africans and allies of Africa talk about colonialism has always been negative. Okay. I don't see colonialism as always negative. Like just talked about. If we're not merged together, okay, and colonialism didn't happen in Africa, unfortunately, right now, maybe, see, because of our diversity, we have so many different tribes in that continent. And to integrate us, the only way human beings have known is fights. Okay, so I see that aspect as positive. Okay, now I blame us as Africans that, okay, we have emerged, okay, and we know the differences. I say we know. Actually, I contend that we don't actually know the differences between us, because people are talking, and I've talked to a lot of young guys who want one Africa. I'm not opposed to that, but my argument to them is this: before we start saying one Africa, we need to know ourselves. We need to know about our neighbors. We need to understand them. We need to know the differences and similarities between our cultures, because people outside Africa assume, okay, that Africa is one big town. No, we are very, very different. Okay, we are very, very different. And we need to acknowledge that if we really want to move forward as one people, there's a massive need of integration. And you can't integrate until you understand what differences you have. That's my argument. And unfortunately, people who don't listen to it will just assume I'm saying something else. Okay. So yes, we are where we are. But for me, for us to move forward is for us to do the work. I mean, what do you think?
I would agree. I think there's, you could say all that has already happened. So now what?
Okay.
You can't just sit and keep saying, oh, colonialism. What are you going to do next to progress? And that I would agree with. I would say that there's a duty we have, and it's to me actually it's quite shocking that we haven't progressed more, because and I'm not sure why that is, because a lot of leaders that the whole continent has had, a lot of them have good knowledge about the impacts of colonialism and what the world order was before. And you would imagine, in an ideal sense, if you're willing to move forward, you're in a leadership position, that you will put a lot of lessons you've learned or your family has learned into use to move forward. But it seems like we just keep getting stuck in a cycle of recycling, the same leaders who, for some reason, don't seem to really pull their weight in office. And I don't know why that is. Like, what makes
let me suggest something. We don't teach history.
We don't. Yeah, I would agree with that as well.
We don't teach history. And secondly, unfortunately, many leaders use their little knowledge, I say little, because yes, it's little, to their personal advantage, to keep members of the group on their own side and against the other group. So they are using knowledge of history to promote their tribal agenda. And now, when I say tribal, it's not about ethnicity only. Any kind of tribal group, okay, either political or whatever. And that's what I believe many African leaders have been doing. See, you say you don't understand why we haven't moved forward. I believe we haven't moved forward because, unfortunately, we have had some good leaders, but most of our leaders have always had their personal agendas.
Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense, and it's a pattern that we see all too common.
It's a pattern, yeah.
So yeah, something needs to change on a personal level.
Yeah. See, if we have taught history correctly, see, and what is the correct one? Just tell the story as it is, as mundane as it is, without embellishing. Okay, just tell it, and let the next generation look at it, think about it, and decide what they want to do with it. With it. Right now, I will tell you, I know history because my father taught history, and I have always read a lot of history. Okay, but I wasn't taught enough of history in school. In fact, I think one of the things we need to do in our educational system, that's a different topic, and that's a big one again, is that I think we need to teach history as a compulsory subject. It's not elective. You do history up to year 12. I mean, that's my thinking. See, some of our leaders think, oh, if you tell them what happened in the past, they will start fighting. No. See, the reason why people will fight is because you don't tell them what happened in the past. That's my thinking.
Yeah.